Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. It is shave time for me. It's been 2.5 days or so. I look pretty scruffy. I still need a haircut. Haven't gotten around to it yet. Just jumped out of the shower, so figured, since the stubbles are already pre-softened, let's do a shave. I still have the two loaners here in the house. I have the brass, the final cut, and the Rex Konsul that JR so generously loaned me. Let's backtrack a little bit. He also sent me a little bit of a care package, so I got some blades from him, the Persona Platinum. We already used some of the ones that he sent, and he sent me a full set of soap and aftershave from Barista and Man, which is a pretty big name in the soap and the scent industry, the shavings accessories, I guess. I have been a little hesitant, but I guess I will have to let the cat out of the bag. I can't use it. I've been sniffing it. I still, the scent still lingers. I just had the aftershave bottle open again. I put a little bit on my fingers before I took a shower, and now I still smell it. It is really kind of spicy, and it says ingredient-wise there is licorice in there. Usually I don't have a problem with licorice. I eat licorice, so it's no problem. But this aftershave has a scent almost like a peppery salad dressing, and I just can't get myself, I can't muster the courage to actually break into this. The soap, of course, it's not quite as intense, but also has this peppery scent to it. And then I just noticed that in the bottle, the liquid that's in here is very murky, and it almost looks like the different components are separating from each other. So you have little floating bubbles in there. That's probably water, and the oil components are separating. And I just can't get myself to put this on my face. Sorry, JR. If any one of you is interested in Barista and Man shaving soap, the full measure of Man, as well as the matching aftershave, please find my email. You have to go to YouTube, the full browser version, go into the About section, and I have a email address listed there. Send me your shipping address and I'll ship it to you. And then you're gonna get this full, soap and the aftershave. I just can't overcome I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. Let me pause real quick. I'm gonna put on some prep pre-shave this time. We're completely diverting here from my usual. So prep pre-shave, put that on real quick, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alrighty guys, I'm back. I just had to take my, my shower nozzle. If I don't hang that down, it's gonna be dripping for the next 15 minutes, and I don't want that in the video. Alright, I already put some prep in my face. This is made in Italy. Company's been around since, I believe, 1963, and this is a very universal product here, this prep. It's not just pre-shave. You can also use it as post-shave. You can put it on mosquito bites, sunburn, sore feet. What else do we have here? Just as a skincare, so to speak. So this is a very universal product. Even my kids use it sometimes on their sunburn or their mosquito bites or whatever. So what are we going to shave with today? We are going to use the Rex Konsul. We had a first shave video already. Now we're going to do a second shave, and the second shave is usually comparing it to something. So we're going to use the Rex Konsul. I slowly have to get ready to send it back to JR so that he can get his two treasures back here, the brass, the final cut, and the Rex Konsul. I figured since the newest one in the house, adjustable razor, besides those two loaners, is the T2 Rockwell T2. We're going to run the T2 against the Konsul. They are for sure not in the same league. This is a $150 razor. It's partially made out of brass, stainless steel, and some cast zinc parts. And this one here is CNC machined out of a 316L stainless steel. So this is heirloom quality, $350. I just checked the price, and the T2 on the Rockwell webpage is $150. You can also get the T2 in the stainless steel, which is, I want to say, $250. But don't quote me on that because I didn't look at that specifically. But I think the stainless steel is $250. This is $350. The T2 stainless steel is engineered in Canada, then manufactured somewhere else, and then final assembly is done in Canada, same as this one. If you want a Rockwell razor that's exclusively made in the United States, then you have to go with a 6S that I have sitting here. This one here is stainless steel, bead blasted, this matte finish. This is made in the US. Or you have to go to $350 and get yourself a fully CNC machine, fully stainless steel, fully made in the United States razor, like this one here, the Rex Konsul, or the Rex Ambassador that we have reviewed in the past. Or you just compromise in material and manufacturing location and get this fully adjustable razor that is actually one of the few, or maybe the only one, that kind of uses the adjustment mechanism just like the Gillette Slim or the Gillette Fat Boy or the Super Adjustable 109 or the Super Adjustable 84, which is nice. So someone is still upholding this old style design of adjustment, which I like. So since we were talking about JR and his generous donation to the channel here with Barista and Man, sorry JR, don't take it personally. I just can't cope with the scent of this aftershave. I don't know if this is normal or maybe this bottle has gone bad, but I have tried, I have stood in front of this bottle, meditated a few times over it, but I just can't do it. All right, we're gonna put fresh blades in both of those razors out of a Persona Platinum package that I had already opened. So let's grab those real quick, put them in. And for those of you who haven't seen any of my Rex Ambassador or Rex Konsul videos, let's do the blade installation together. So this is a typical two-piece razor, as we call it, because it's two pieces. Of course, you can disassemble this further and it turns into, 8, 9 pieces, but for the user, only 2. Take this apart, then you have your blade. I already unwrapped it here. What I do is I just dip it in water, and there are a couple little drops of water on it, and that surface tension of the water is just enough to hold your blade in place and it doesn't slide around like wild. And then I take the top cap here. There is no alignment mark, so it apparently doesn't matter which direction you put it on. And we're going to verify this here. And then you have to line the blade and the top cap and the bottom up so that the alignment pieces that are milled into the top cap kind of push into the bottom, and then you squeeze it together a little bit and then you tighten it down. And since this is a slant razor, it will torsion or twist the blade, put it under tension, and that's intentional. The tension is intentional because they want the blade to be as stiff and as non-flexible as they can in those type of razors. I'm just checking here my own assembly. I want to make sure that we're properly aligned. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, they fit really well. I mean, the Rex razors, you gotta say, the quality is second to none. You might not agree with their price policy, you might not agree with their level of aggression, especially the Rex Ambassador. I mentioned that it is a little on the spicy side for me. But the Rex Konsul, if you saw my first shave Rex Konsul video, I really actually like it. I really like it. It is not scary at all. It is very pleasantly surprising, actually. It's very mild but efficient. So you get a gentle shave, but it still takes the stubbles off, and that's what I'm looking for. So here's the second new blade. The T2, of course, is a twist to open, just like the old ones back in the days, the Slim and the Fat Boy. Good alignment here. This whole bar takes care of blade alignment. And then this one here, you have to twist a long time until it's tight. And there is no quarter turn at the end. So the old Gillette adjustables, they always had a little extra. Here, this one, let's make sure we're not at 6, we're actually at 1. I definitely don't want to shave with it when we're at 6. So mild setting, blade alignment is perfect. Looks good. What else are we going to use? I have my fine brush here, which is a synthetic knot with angel hair, apparently, which is kind of a homage to my old Everready. It just so happened that they, they could be cousins or brothers from another mother or whatever you want to call it. So synthetic brush, we don't really need to pre-soak, it's already wet. We're going to use Rockwell. This is a shaving cream, even though it's in this pot here. It's kind of a mess if you accidentally tip it over. It's going to be all over the container. Pretty soft, so creamy. They do have a pre-shave oil, but yeah, I couldn't tell the difference, so I didn't use it this time. We have prep on my face here, and of course it also came with an aftershave. We're going to use that. So now let's just get my face wet real quick, or moist, right on top of the prep cream. Like I said, the shower is less than 10 minutes ago, so my stubbles are maybe still a little moist or softened, which will help with a 2.5, almost 3 day growth. Bristles are wet, and we're just going to go in here and pick up some of the cream. Remember, it's cream. You don't want to stir around in this container too long, because you're going to pick up so much of this cream, and then you have too much in your face, and you know, and then things don't work out that well. I'm just, you know, it's mine. I'm not going to ship it anywhere. I'm not going to give it to anyone. And I actually like the scent. It's really like a soapy, fresh, clean, like this clean linen smell that, you know, it's very not offensive at all. It's not very strong. It's very mild and very pleasant. So then my little emesis basin here with some water. Let's just spread it out first. So it's a cream. We have to paint it on initially. And then we're going to try to get it hydrated to the point where it's actually going to turn into a proper lather and gets from its creamy state to its foamy state. I might have not picked the best brush, because the angel hair knot here in this fine brush is a rather floppy knot. It's not very strong. That is not a criticism, that's just an observation. So if you guys like it, that's good for you. I like it a little, you know, the bristles with a little bit more spunk to it, so that, you know, they have a little bit more backbone. We're already making a mess here all over my t-shirt. Soap on my hands. It still needs more water. And then, as I almost always say, you know, then you let your brush sit here while you shave the first pass, and then the second lather is actually better than the first one. Very creamy still, but I think we're gonna go with it. The downside of this very creaminess is that it tends to clog up the small blade gap between your blade and your razor, and then you know, stubbles get stuck in there, and then it's kind of hard to wash it out. That's why I like to get a little bit more foam going. But that's going to have a lot of cushion. All right, let's get the soap off the hand. We're going to do right side of my face, the Rex Konsul, which is right here. And it's set to number 1. On this one, you don't have to open it to adjust it. You just turn the adjuster and it's fine. All right, and let's get that wet. And let's get started. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's taking them right off, and it's gentle. It is not intimidating at all. Very good. I might have to bite the bullet one day and get myself a Rex Konsul. Maybe I can find one used I mean stainless steel. Unless you drop it or you majorly scratch it up, what can go wrong with those? There's no corrosion issues. At least no majorly so. If you drop 316L stainless steel into a bucket of salt water, it will corrode. It is not completely resistant to corrosion. Any material that contains ferrous materials like iron will eventually rust under the right circumstances. Stainless steel just means it's more resistant to corrosion than normal steel. And they achieve that by mixing in chrome, vanadium, nickel, and a few other things. A few other herbs and spices. What am I doing? I'm doing a full shave with a Konsul. All right, let's pretend in my rambliness that never happened. Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah, talking about stainless steel. All right, so the T2 now is getting a little bit of a head start here. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the T2, not as high premium material as the Konsul, but it is a well-made razor. If there would be one thing that I would complain about on this thing is just how wide the head is. There is between the cutting edge and the end of the razor, there's like an 1/8, 3/16 in millimeters is like 4 millimeters of gap before you get to the end. There's no blade overhang, that's nice. But on the T2, you get a decent blade exposure. And I kind of get the feeling the blade is vibrating a little bit. So when you have lots of stubbles to cut off, it makes a reasonable amount of noise. But overall, I would say this is pretty mild. It starts at a pretty mild level while retaining some efficiency. So it is definitely a razor that can get the job done even at mild settings. It's a pretty bulky head, I gotta say, pretty chunky, and so under my nose I have to go a little sideways here. Yeah, so this side's for sure a little cleaner now because it already got 2 passes more or less. This side still has a little bit left here, but that's why we do a 2 pass, right? Or a 3 pass maybe. So that's a comparison for you. The Konsul does 90% of the work and then it gets judged against the other one that didn't have to do anything. All right, let's lather up again. So now it has been sitting here in the brush with water, wet, and now it actually behaves way more like a traditional, you know, like a hard soap that you have to lather up to get foamy. With a cream, if you pick up too much cream initially, it's really hard to, you know, add enough water to it to bring it to this foamy state. But I think now here on second pass, we got exactly that. Very nice, very nice. Get the soap off the hands. So now I will remember to only do one side with a Konsul. We're still at a 1. Really, honestly, if you guys feel better about the you know, the razor. I'll put it to a number 2 just to see how it is. Let's do an across the grain. Yeah, no big deal. 2, you can definitely feel more blade. But it's still not intimidating or anything. So I would say, concerning adjustable razors, this is definitely one of the few that are actually beginner friendly. You know, it's really surprising, but you can see other YouTube shavers like Kevy shaves, for example. This guy can handle some really massively aggressive razors, but then if you ask him what kind of settings that he uses on certain razors like the 6S, they all are kind of in the midfield, like 3 to number 4 plate. Of course, a lot of guys, because they have enough experience, they can handle also really aggressive. Technique wise, they're not going to cut themselves, but they like it also gentle and smooth. So that's really surprising. And then yeah, I just had to look it up because I couldn't remember his channel name. Ohio Shaves. So I've seen a few of his videos, and he shaves with you know, Müller R41 like a champ. I wouldn't dare to do that, at least not at this point in my shaving career here. But then I have heard him say in other videos that, you know, for example, his leaf twig is one of his favorite razors. So he's not like, oh, the Müller R41 is my favorite razor. He can shave with it, but then all those guys that are really able to shave with extremely aggressive razors, they still like the mild stuff. So leaf twig is one of his favorite razors, he said himself. You know what? Since we just switched to number 2 on the Rex Konsul, I'm going to do that here on the T2 as well. And that's perfectly acceptable too. Very little pressure, a good soap, a friendly sharp Persona blade. They're good blades. They are sharp, but not hyper sharp like a feather would be. And I think with a feather we would be fine as well. So now, after 2 passes, they're equally as smooth left and right. We have gotten rid of 99% of everything here already, but we're gonna do a 3rd pass, and it's gonna be working out just fine. Those 2 razors are very friendly, very agreeable, but efficient enough to give you a clean shaven face. Yeah, 3rd pass. The lather goes on now really easy. It's not too thick anymore. So now we're going to go against the grain, and I think I'm going to leave it at number 2. You can hear it. Against the grain, there's always something to be found, which is probably not even necessary. So when you go with the grain and across the grain, maybe your stubbles get pulled out a little bit. As your skin relaxes and everything goes back to normal and dries off, you're smooth already. But if you do another against the grain shave or against the grain pass, it sounds like there's massive amounts of stuff left. Which is really not the case. It's really just very little left. Okay, upper lip, we don't do that. I like the rounded off ends. I do like that. Easy to get everywhere, and the blade end is still covered up, so you're not scratching your nose, but you're getting the cutting edge right up against the end of the razor head. All right, and now against the grain. Short strokes. Pull the skin and pull my skin away from my little bit of Adam's apple protrusion there. All right, and now number 2 on the T2, also against the grain. A little bit skinnier handle, longer. I haven't really shown you next to each other. Much longer handle. Weight-wise, they are fairly similar. Once we're done here, we might put it on the scale if I don't forget. Also, lots of noise still. But that's also here on this particular, there's a lot of hollow space. You know, if I do that on the Konsul here, it's more solid. And this is more tin can. Not bad though. It's a really good quality razor. Rockwell has a pretty good lineup of razors. So they have the R1, which is a twist to open, just like a super speed almost. Twist to open like this, but non-adjustable. Very inexpensive, like in the $25, $29 range. And then they have an R2, which is this one here. Comes with one bottom plate, and if you want to, you can buy the other bottom plates. They're exchangeable, and you can flip them around. So this one here is, I think it's an R1, R3 plate. Same plates as on the 6S. So they're interchangeable. You can also buy the extra plates if you want to 4, 5, 6, something like this. You can buy the plate for like $18 or so. I bought this one for $18.74. One plate only. So you're stuck with R1 and R3, but if you want the 2 and 4 and the 5 and 6 plate, you can get them from Rockwell. And then you're pretty much turning this into an Rockwell 6C, which is the one that comes with 3 plates. So one is 1 and 3, 2 and 4, and 5 and 6. That's the 6C. And then they have the 6S, which is sitting right there, that also has the 3 plates. And then of course we have the T2 and the T2 stainless steel. I haven't tried the T2 stainless steel. I'm pretty familiar with the 6S and the 2C or 6C. It's kind of the same. Good razors. They have a pretty good lineup. I haven't tried their R1. Has any one of you guys tried the R1, the twist to open, the very simple? I might try to get my hands on one of those. All right, let's do a quick little inspection if we have to do any kind of pickup here. Nose is good. Down here is all good. I just saw I had a little nick there. I might want to clean it up a little bit. But overall, very good result. The razors are stacking up pretty evenly in terms of aggression. So on one, they are both relatively beginner friendly. If you are looking for the super mild razor that's not scary at all, you gotta go with this little puppy here, the 34C by Merkur, very beginner friendly. The Twig, the Twig, Leaf Twig is also very, very beginner friendly. Also, it's a little bit more expensive than the 34C, that's for sure. The AL13 by Hansen, the original one, the non-aggressive or the more aggressive version, just the standard version, is also very beginner friendly, not scary at all. Let me rinse off real quick. All right, guys, Lots of residual slickness. From the soap, so it takes a little while to wash off, but that's good. That means that while you're shaving, you get lots of protection from the soap. And now we're gonna use this aftershave balm by Rockwell. I tell you, the scent is really subdued, very mild, very friendly. A little goes a long way. Don't overdo it with the aftershave balm. I took way too much now. That's why my face is all white. But it's very good. No major irritations, no tingle. Here on this side we did like 4 passes almost. Happens, right? Overall, I can say that the claim that the Rex Konsul is a milder razor than the Rex Ambassador, I can wholeheartedly confirm that. That's true. It is the same price level as the Rex Ambassador. If you want a close comb, just a straight close comb, go with the Ambassador, but be prepared that it's gonna start out at number 1 a little bit more, you know, a little spicier. Not scary spicy, but this one here on 1 with that slant, sharp blade, good razor, good razor. It's pricey though, but I would like to own one day. And the T2, you know, less than half the price, $150, and you can get them in full-on chrome, in silver, kind of a matte silver. They have a gold version, I believe. They have a few different choices. Good razor too, good razor. It's not gonna, you know, if you drop it to the bottom of the ocean, it's not gonna survive as long as the Rex here does, but you get a full adjustable in the style of the Slim or Fat Boy adjustable, the twist to open, easy to load a blade, blade adjustment or blade alignment, absolutely no issue. Quality is there, I think. So this is a good razor, designed in Canada, manufactured elsewhere. Yeah, and I couldn't tell you exactly how long Rockwell has been around. They are a little bit shy on the details about their company, but yeah, both razors are great. You pick your poison. I cannot complain about either of those. And the results speak for themselves. We were able to shave. We even went up in aggression a little bit to a number 2. I might have a little nick down here on the Konsul side, but that can happen. And if I would have stayed with a number 1, the result would have been the same, more or less, with maybe less irritation. I might have a little bit irritation down here. The Rockwell products, the soap's good or the cream is good. If you can handle it, I haven't quite figured out, you know, if let's say the palm olive cream, if I put that on a brush and I add water and get that in my face, it lathers as if it is a soap. And this one here, I put that on my brush and then I always end up picking up too much, and then I have this huge amount of cream in my face. Either I have to be more gentle on picking up the stuff, or I just have to add way more water to it. But it's not as beginner friendly to get a lather going. And that's the whole part of this, you know, this game here, that you want a nice lather and you want to feel like you accomplished something, and then you shave it off. But on the second and third go around, and the fourth and the fifth that I could do with this, it's good. It's really good. And it has a lot of protection, cushion, slickness, all those attributes that you want to hear. Really good. And yeah, the aftershave balm, really nice and creamy. Little goes a long way, so sparingly applied, I would say. I always take way too much. It's perfect. Alrighty guys, so that was not really a comparison, more like a side-by-side shave of the Rockwell T2 with a Persona Platinum and the Rex Konsul, also Persona Platinum. One slant, one straight. Great razors. I will have to say goodbye to this puppy here pretty soon. I will make one more video where I show my cleaning procedure, the full-on, you know, brushing, cleaning, ultrasonic, and disinfection. Just how I like to do that without damaging anything, without taking paint off, without polishing, you know, all that stuff. Just a good clean. And that's going to be the next video that you're going to see probably. And then I will pack him back up and send him back to JR, who so generously provided all this for those videos. And sorry, JR, can't do. If anyone is interested in this or wants to, maybe you have it at home and you know, you want to sniff it and make, yeah. So I don't know if you can see that through the bottle, but there's like little floating stuff in the bottle. And yeah, the spicy smell, the peppery smell, and this licorice smell, I just can't. So sorry, you guys. Sinatra Lennon once shaved with some sort of sauce from, was it from Taco Bell? Not sure, from like a fast food chain. He shaved with that in his face. I don't know. So anyways, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.